Hi people, it's me Anja, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is focusing on my favorite Asian contemporaries, and this video was inspired by the fact that one of my friends complimented me and told me that I was a pretty diverse reader. So I feel like this video will help people diversify their reading. So anyway, the first book on this list is called I Love You So Mochi, written by Kuhn or Kuhn. I'm not completely sure. This follows Akemi, who wants to be a fashion designer against her mom's wishes, and as a distraction, when she's invited to go to Kyoto for spring break to live with her estranged grandparents, she seizes the chance and she decides to go. I really like this book. It was so good. It was like the perfect balance of being fluffy and so cute and adorable, but also angsty. Because Akemi has never met her grandparents before. She barely knows anything about them aside from the fact that they're her mom's parents. And I thought this book was so good. I love the Asian culture represented in this book. I love Asian culture, and as a half Asian, I just love learning about the different Asian countries' culture, since obviously Asia is an entire continent. And I don't know, I just really like this book, and it was so good, and I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it here on BookTube, but it's so cute and so absolutely wonderful. The next book is called Other Words for Home, written by Jasmine Warga. This is a middle grade contemporary, and it follows Jude as she moves from Syria to the States. And I really like this book because I love that it gave me insight into what it's like to be a Syrian refugee. I don't think I've ever read a book before about a specifically a Syrian refugee moving to the States. And I think this book was so good. It's also written in free verse, and I'm a sucker for free verse books because I think that having the choice of free verse really brings the story to life. And I really liked getting inside Jude's head, and it was just really cool. And she's so young and wonderful and such a great character, and I believe that this book made me cry, so that's definitely a selling point. This book was just so good, and it was just so absolutely wonderful, you know. Not only did it give me insight into something that I haven't really fully researched, but also it was just a wonderful story as well. So the next book is called Starfish, written by Akemi Bowman. This follows a teen who's half Japanese, and she's grappling with social anxiety and her narcissist mom after the wake of a crushing rejection from an art school. I really like this book. This book is the one that introduced me to the literary genius of Akemi Bowman. There is a trigger warning in this book for sexual assault and trauma. This book was so good. Akemi Bowman is literally so underrated, and I love her books so much. This book is just so good. I loved it so much. The story, the plot, the characters is just so good, and from the very beginning I felt myself sympathizing with the main character, but also as the story progressed, my feelings for her grew to be more than just pity. And I think that is really important, to have feelings about a character that's more than just sympathy and pity. I grew to actually really like her and root for her as the story progressed. You know, this book was so absolutely so good, and like I said, Akemi Bowman is truly underrated in the YA contemporary genre, and more people should read her books. The next book is called Front Desk, written by Kelly Yang. This follows Mia, who's an immigrant in the States, and this book was really good. Mia is such a strong, resilient character, and like Other Words for Home, I haven't read a whole lot of stories that talk about being an immigrant and moving to a new country, an entire new country, all the way across the world. I think that is something that's really underrepresented and should be talked about more, because this is something that people read about in the news or whatever, but they don't really take into account all of the minors and children and like teenagers and like people who are possibly your age who have to deal with this. And I think that that is really, really important to like really look into, and you shouldn't just see this as like something that you see in the news, and you should just really just see this as something that impacts people who are your age, you know? So anyway, this book was really, really good, and I'm so excited for the sequel. I think it comes out next month or something. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to continue this series and just see like Mia's characterization continue to grow and evolve, because it did such a great job in this one. So the next book on this list is called The Astonishing Color of April, written by Emily X. Orpan. This is a YA contemporary that follows Lee after her mom dies by suicide. She goes to Taiwan to visit her maternal grandparents, and I really like this book. There is a trigger warning for grief and suicide since her mom does die by suicide. I really loved this book. It was so good. I loved like Lee's family representation. I love the Taiwanese culture. I feel like Taiwan is a really like underrated Asian country. I feel like most of the time when I read like an Asian contemporary or fantasy or whatever, the Asian country being represented is China or Japan. And like there's so much more to Asia than China and Japan. So Taiwan was a really nice, refreshing like representation. So that was really solid. I also liked, like I mentioned, I liked Lee's family representation. I liked the Asian culture. I liked Lee as a character. The plot picked up pretty fast. That was really solid. This book is just so good, and it's definitely worth like all of its hype and so much more. It's so good. The next book is called Darius the Great is Not Okay, and this follows Darius, who's Iranian. Is it Iranian or Iranian? I think it's Iranian. Anyway, he's Iranian, and he doesn't feel like he'll ever be enough. So when he takes his first trip to Iran with his parents, he thinks that like he's not Iranian enough to be there, but like then he meets the boy next door, and meeting that boy changes everything. This book is so good. I didn't mean for the synopsis to sound so like dramatic, but this book is seriously so good. Like I've said about 6 billion times, I really like reading about Asian culture that's not really represented that much in YA books, and it was just so good. I also like Darius as a character. It was really good, and the relationship with the boy next door was truly so sweet and just so wonderful, and I'm so excited for the sequel. It comes out in like 3 to 4 weeks. I think it's like the end of August when the release date is, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I hope that the sequel is as good as this one, because this one was so good. So good. The next book on this list is called A Bailey Walsh Expansive Sea, written by Tahereh Mafi. This book is so good. It follows Shirin, a 16-year-old Muslim girl, and it's set the year after 9/11, and she is sick of being stereotyped as like the terrorist person. And it's until she meets Ocean, who encourages her to put down the walls that she's carefully constructed around her. This book is so good, and it's totally worth its hype. As a Christian, I think that it's really important to learn about like different religions and stuff, and I love learning about like different religions, and I think that religion in general is like really underrepresented in YA, because I feel like most YA is secular, you know? So anyway, and I really like Tahereh Mafi's choice to have this story set right after 9/11, because I think it's really important to like showcase what it was like for Muslims right after something so horrible that happened. And I think that 9/11 is a history thing that like most people gloss over, because like it happened so recently, but also like it didn't. So I feel like most people take that and they learn about it in school or whatever, and they tuck it into the back of their mind, and they don't really realize that it happened so recently, and like they don't really think about like the impact that it had again on like young people who like had to go through this. I really liked Shilin as a character. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing her name right, so if I'm not, correct me. And like, I just found it to be so realistic and absolutely so lovely and wonderful. This book is totally worth all of its hype and more. The last book on this list is called I'll Be the One, written by Lyla Lee. This book is so good. I loved it. It follows Sky, who wants to become the world's first plus-size K-pop star. I really like this book so much. Like, Sky is such a resilient character, and I really liked her. Like, plus-size people are so underrepresented in YA. It's so annoying. And like, there's this stereotype that like Asian people, to be pretty, they have to be skinny. So not only is Sky like breaking like stereotypes, but she's also breaking like Asian specifically stereotypes. And I love a story that like talks about like body positivity and confidence. It's all about like breaking the conventional idea of like what it means to be like desirable and pretty. And also like Sky is bisexual as well, and I really like that her sexuality was portrayed and discussed. I think this book is so important and necessary for everybody to read about, not just the plus size audience or the bisexual audience or like the Korean audience. I think that this book is so important for everybody to read, to realize that the heroes and the heroines of stories can be absolutely anybody. And I love the story so much. It's absolutely incredible, and it deserves all of its hype. So in conclusion, the purpose of this video was to help you diversify your reading, because I think that diversifying your reading will help people be more empathetic towards other groups of people and just learn about the experiences and the perspectives of other people that you've never really like occurred to you before, and like less judgmental. So anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below your favorite Asian contemporaries. All of the books on this list are YA, unless I explicitly said that they were middle grade. And yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more. Bye!